So what are we going to do? Well, we're going to do this $42 billion and then rinse and repeat and double it and double it and double it and double it. And you're going to say, like, well, where does it end? Well, I guess when we've taken 1% of the fixed income market, which is $3 trillion, and when we levered it up and we've got 10 billion, we bought 3 trillion of Bitcoin and we're trading at $10 trillion in market cap, we'll be growing 20% a year.
Welcome back to the channel. Aaron here from Bitcoin Bros coming back at you with another video today. Just watched the strategy earnings call. Very bullish. A lot of great insights in the call. Highly recommend you go watch the earnings call. You can probably watch the recorded live stream on YouTube, so make sure to check that out. But in today's video, we're going to be getting into strategy, debunking some Bitcoin FUD that we've been seeing. Some people are talking about the Bitcoin core developers going rogue, and it's just a lot of fun to be going over that, going over some recent Bitcoin news. Let's go ahead and get into it. So the market is closed. Strategy closed at 381. Bitcoin is up to $96,000 now. So Strategy's MNAV is currently at 2.13. The ATM, there wasn't a lot of selling yet this week, and we know that because they exhausted their $21 billion ATM program. Like I said, they had the live stream, but you can see right here, they just announced another ATM and fixed income plan, $42 billion of equity and $42 billion of fixed income to purchase more Bitcoin. So it was 21 billion and they raised it to 42 billion. So that gives them $21 billion more to tap the MSTR ATM. And they're never going to stop. They're going to continue to just keep upping this until they exhaust all of the ATM and all of their fixed income. Definitely think it's going to take them a lot longer to get the $42 billion of fixed income than it will for the MSTR ATM. We know Strategy is going to be buying more and more Bitcoin in the following weeks to come. And check out this chart here from the earnings call. So if Bitcoin hits $400,000, Strategy will have the world's largest corporate treasury. And that's if they don't even buy any more Bitcoin while Bitcoin goes up to 400K. We all know Strategy is going to be buying a lot more Bitcoin as Bitcoin goes to 400K. So Strategy is definitely going to be having the largest corporate treasury over the next couple of years to come. And if we look at today's stats, you can see Strategy traded $6.47 billion of trading volume today, coming in the top 10, trading with some of the biggest companies in the world. That is always really good to see. If you compare the market cap of these companies to the trading volume of what Strategy has been doing every single day, it's consistently trading with some of the biggest companies in the world. So that may be an indicator of where Strategy is going to be going in the future in terms of market cap. And right now, they're rated 89 for the top market cap companies in the United States. We like to look at this because when they do get included in the S&P, wherever they rank here, if they continue to keep ranking up higher on this list, they'll get a higher allocation from the S&P, which just gives Saylor more money to go and buy Bitcoin. And then looking in the aftermarket, Strategy is up to 382 there. There may be a little bit of a sell-off tomorrow as people understand that the ATM is coming back. And that means they'll be selling shares into the market. So some people may be a little bit bearish around that news. We may see a little bit of a sell down unless Bitcoin's price goes up overnight. Then we'll probably see Strategy go up right along with it. But then I wanted to debunk some FUD here from a lot of people talking about the Bitcoin core developers are going rogue and they're trying to ruin Bitcoin. That is just a lot of noise, but it comes from this pull request here from the Bitcoin Core GitHub. It's called Remove Arbitrary Limits on OP Return Data Carrier Outputs. This is from Peter Todd. So basically what he's trying to do here in this pull request, and if you don't know what a pull request is, a pull request is just a way that developers try to make changes to the main code base. So what they do is they open up what's called a branch in the code base, make their changes in that branch, which is just like a test, but it mirrors the production environment. And then once they make their changes, they try to merge that into the production environment utilizing a pull request. The pull request gets reviewed and approved by other people, and it either gets approved and merged into the production environment or it gets shot down and denied. So what this pull request is trying to do here, you can see what is OP return. So you can think of Bitcoin transactions like envelopes. Normally these envelopes carry money, but there's a special kind of envelope called OP return that lets you include a small note, like a sticky note attached to the envelope. This note doesn't hold money, it's just data. People use it to store things like timestamps, messages, or other references to other information. So if you've ever seen any of those screenshots on Twitter or on social media that shows like a Bitcoin transaction and there's a small saying with it, that is exactly what we're talking about here. So the current limit, the OP return data can't be bigger than 80 bytes. That's about the size of a short sentence. This limit was set to prevent people from clogging up the Bitcoin system with too much extra data. So the proposed change from Peter Todd is he wants to remove this 80 byte limit. So what his argument is people are already finding ways around the limit by using other parts of the Bitcoin system to store data. Removing the limit could simplify the system and make it more efficient. It could support new technologies like sidechains, which are mini Bitcoin connected to the main one, and cross-chain bridges, which connect different blockchains. So you can think of that like Ethereum. Ethereum has a lot of things built on top of it. EVM, so this would make Bitcoin more like Ethereum in a sense. So people are debating this because the current limit is ineffective. People are already bypassing it, so the limit doesn't serve its purpose. This is what the supporters of the pull request are saying. Removing the limit could reduce clutter. By allowing more data in OP return, it might prevent people from using more harmful methods to store data. It could encourage innovation. New applications and technologies could benefit from more flexible data storage. This is the big one. And then you can see critics say some things down here, but the big one really is it could change Bitcoin's purpose. Bitcoin was designed as a money, not a data storage system. This could change its focus. So that is the core issue here. At its heart, this debate is about what Bitcoin should be, a strict money-focused system with tight rules to prevent misuse. And if this was to get merged in, it would help it be more of a flexible platform that supports various applications beyond just money. So this is what all that FUD around the Bitcoin core team has been about, and it's all in this pull request here. And the reason why I say this is really just a bunch of FUD is because this thing is not going to get merged in. If you look at the reviewers and people who have actually approved this versus disapproved it, there's a lot more disapprovers in this pull request. So this means that this is not going to get merged in. There's just too much disapproval and it's not going to be put into the production environment. And I think most people know that, but there's just been a lot of noise over on Twitter that people are kind of just talking about this, and they're making it more than what it is, because anybody can come on here and open a pull request and try to get their code merged in. It doesn't mean it's going to get merged in. I could go do it, you could do it, anybody could do it. It's open source. Anybody can make changes. This guy Peter Todd's trying to make this change. It's not going to happen. And he's tried to do this before. He tried to do it back in July of 2023, and as you can see, the pull request was closed. It was not merged in. And you can see down here, it was NAAC, which means that they did not approve of it. They disagreed with what he was trying to do. People were basically saying the same thing that they're saying now if you read the pull request, the one that just opened 4 days ago. So it's a lot of FUD. It's not going to change Bitcoin Core. This is definitely not going to get merged in. The Bitcoin Core developers are not going rogue. This is just one developer trying to make a change in which he agrees with, but a lot of people disagree with. So I just think ignore that. It's a bunch of FUD. So I just wanted to debunk that because a lot of people were talking about that over on Twitter. And then we have the blockchain group, to get back into some Bitcoin news here. The blockchain group is trying to do what Strategy's doing. They're a France company, and their goal is to acquire at least 1% of the Bitcoin supply over the next 8 years. And they have really big ambitions to go and buy Bitcoin by raising potential capital and just buying more and more Bitcoin. So we'll see if they can pull it off. But this just goes to show you that more and more companies are trying to get Bitcoin. There's a Bitcoin gold rush going on right now. So what do you think is going to happen to the price over the next 5 to 10 years with all these companies trying to accumulate so much BTC? And then to get into some updates from the Bitcoin ETFs, we just ended April, and the ETFs bought around $3 billion of Bitcoin. So that is good to see there. This is the second green month of 2025, and we're seeing a little bit of a trend reversal from what we saw the past 2 months with all of the outflows. Now we're seeing some pretty decent inflows, 3 billion going in. So that's definitely good to see there from the US Bitcoin ETFs. And here are some price predictions from some corporations and some Bitcoin talking heads where they expect Bitcoin to go this year. So you can see how bullish everybody is for Bitcoin to go up this year. So if we see any of these prices, definitely going to be good for Strategy and the rest of the Bitcoin proxies. But that's all I had for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. If you found any value, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. My name's Aaron from Bitcoin Bros. I'm out. I'll see you guys in the next one, and have a great rest of your day.